What about a male wearing like a necklace or a bracelet? Is that something that's look bad or is
So
not allowed?
in Orthodoxy nowadays, I'm not saying this is a halakha. In Orthodoxy, that you won't see guys wearing jewelry, not even wedding rings. However, that's not the halakha. What the halakha is that wearing jewelry on a man is left up to local custom. If in your community only like very flamboyant guys wear jewelry, well, then it's not allowed. If it's acceptable, like if you're from Brooklyn and everyone has like a big gold chain on, then it's allowed. So the Rambam brings you down.
Yeah, yeah, I'm from Queens.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, I guess people don't wear rope chains anymore.
Run DMC.
All right, next guys, let's keep it going. But
I would
anyways,
be interested in like, for example, I don't even think anybody's ever covered this. Okay, so you have maybe Christians or Messianics that are converting to Judaism in very large numbers. I think everybody's reason is different. And I think it's every time I talk to somebody, I'm like, so what made you change your journey or your path? And everybody has a different answer. And sometimes I'm like, okay, that's a good reason. And then sometimes I'm like, well, I tell them, do you think that's a good enough reason? Like, I don't think they're convinced in like changing their whole lifestyle and their religion. I don't think it's a strong enough reason sometimes what they give. So I'm kind of interested. I don't know if you ever do interviews like that.
yeah, it sounds like you're going to talk them out of wanting to become religious. That's the thing.
No, not really that. It's just like I feel like sometimes people make
Are you
decisions
sure you love God? How much you love God? That's
for the
not
wrong
my
reason,
thing.
for the wrong reasons. Like for example,
I don't think there's a wrong reason to convert. Ultimately, I think there's a bunch of insincere converts because they love falafel and Israeli music a lot. It's better than nothing. I'm not against people converting for marriage either. Most people who convert for marriage typically end up becoming more religious than the person they converted for. There's silly reasons to convert. I don't know if there's reasons not to convert for, unless you're planning on, like, God forbid, molesting people or bringing them out of the religion or something. But the average convert that I've spoken to converts, in my opinion, for the wrong reason. I remember with this guy in Israel, I was helping him convert in terms of I helped him find a place to live. 'Cause that's the hardest thing in Israel to convert. It's easy to convert in Israel, but the hardest thing is finding a place to live because the places that teach you for conversion, but they don't let you live there. They'll let you live there like if you're a convert, because most places that teach for conversion in Israel are regular yeshivas. If they accept you as someone to learn there while you're converting, you can learn there, you can eat there, but you can't sleep there. Paying rent in Israel when you don't have a job or you're not technically allowed to work is hard. So anyways, I helped this guy stay in a caravan in the settlement I was living in. So I asked him, why do you want to convert? And he said that he was going through his grandfather's things and he found a talit. And then he found out that his grandfather was Jewish. And I'm like, that's why you're converting to Judaism? So like if you found out that he was a Muslim, would you become a Muslim too? And then he kind of like stopped me. He's like, maybe. So I don't know. Ultimately, I'm not going to tell the guy not to convert. All right. Not everyone is like Abraham walking around understanding what is ethical monotheism and what is not. And what's the average person just wants structure. Something to belong to that's bigger than themselves. Heck, some people find that in sillier causes. I don't know, tying themselves up to trees and crap like that. So there's a lot of people who come under a bad understanding of Judaism, but then later on gain a better understanding and actually could properly understand why they're remaining Jewish. So only because someone doesn't come with the best intentions or best understanding of Judaism, it doesn't mean that they shouldn't come. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter why you do good as long as you do good. The question is, how long will you do good for? Some people, it's true, like if they convert for the wrong reasons, may end up dropping it. But I think in the vast majority of cases, they'll just kind of philosophize it through and just keep going.
Is there any like real statistics or like numbers out there of converts who converted and moved on, became more religious, less religious?
There aren't enough converts. That's the thing. Think about it.
There are
How many converts, Orthodox converts, come out of America every year? It's got to be less than 100. It can't be more than that.
Last time I read it was something like 600 actually a year.
A year from America?
Yeah, I think so.
believe it. You know.
I
But
think
anyways, I mean,
Joel
compare
Osteen
that
had
to the
more in one service, right?
well, Muslims every year they have 25,000. I think the last boy I've seen in America, 25,000 a year. And all we have is if John's correct, 600. That's come on, man. And I would say that about tshuva, Hoser B'tshuva, somebody born Jewish who returns to Judaism probably has a more likelihood to drop it than a convert. Because a convert, I mean, we got to put up with crap. We got to tell our family, hey, we can't hang out no more. We can't do this. We got to break up with our girlfriends, whatever. While someone who's born Jewish, they're just like in there. One day they're eating pork sandwich, the next day they're dead meat, and the next day they have an aliyah. So